Lake Wahakari in Te Kau, the far north. It looks idyllic, but for whānau, this stretch of water has been a nightmare. For decades, it's been their main source of drinking water, but it tastes awful.
You need to boil it at least 3 times before I drink that water.
Grace Nathan and her husband Robert Kaka have lived in Te Kau for more than 30 years. They say water has always been an issue.
In our growing up days, so we had a well, I koniki, o inuia matu paitu, ta matu well, ta matu wai inu, and we had a pump, ta matu papa used to have a pump papu mai tana wai ki te o matu tanks.
Because of safety concerns, since 2005, the District Health Board has told locals if they want to drink the water, they must boil it first.
Oh, no, not good, I'm afraid.
For 17 years, the tap water has been undrinkable. A community survey found families instead spend $1,500 a year on bottled water. To save money, Robert and Grace ration how much they drink.
Yeah, we have to kind of live with it, but, you know, we shouldn't really.
Has it been tested?
No, it might have been tested quite a while back.
What did they find?
You can see a bit of stuff down the bottom.
So just how bad is this drinking water? I went and collected some samples, one from Lake Wahakari and the other from Grace and Robert's whare. We took them to a water testing laboratory in Whangare.
It is a 2-stage test. So the first part we're looking for is for total coliforms, and they show up yellow on these trays that we've done. And in the lake sample, the total coliforms was quite high.
Laboratory manager Lois Howe.
Okay, so Lake Wahakari sample has got total coliforms present in there, and also E. coli is present in that sample.
From a public health perspective, is that a concern?
E. coli is present in the guts of people, animals and birds, and it indicates fecal pollution. It's very serious from a public health perspective. So yes, E. coli present in water implies that the water is not safe to drink.
But what about the water from the whare? Is that safe to drink?
The residence one, we did not detect E. coli in that sample. We did detect total coliforms, which does indicate that there is some bacterial pollution in that water.
The lake's water infrastructure was originally built by the Far North District Council, but a private company took over the water supply in 1975. Maria Mino Kapa-Kingi, CEO of local trust Te Runanga o Te Aupauri, says the situation has not been good enough.
Whānau in Te Kau still having to purchase drinking water from a grocery store. E hara tērā I te tika.
It's totally inhumane. It is completely unacceptable for us that you either have to boil it or buy it, or truck it in or go down to the store and buy a whole plastic bottles of water. It's simply not right.
This year, the iwi was given control of the lake and the district's water supply. They're determined to deliver clean water, something no one else has been able to do in decades.
Well, our original report done in 2017 was around 2.5 mil to get it cleaned and sorted and drinkable, right? That's nothing, in my view.
The iwi has joined a pilot program to clean up the lake, financed through the Crown Infrastructure Rural Fund.
They will assess and analyse, so this is the water as it exists now, how come it's that way, how come it's that colour, how can we make it more drinkable and palatable for whānau. Once that report is done and out, then we'll know exactly what it's going to take to actually clean it up.
It's not just Te Kau facing this issue. Poor quality drinking water can be found across Aotearoa.
There are many Māori communities that had to contend with this issue, but I can't imagine other communities, and I won't name which communities, but there are communities that won't even, just like, I don't even know what you mean. What do you mean bottled water? We only have bottled water when we go to a flash meeting and there's a bottled water on the table. You mean that bottled water?
With the clean-up of Te Kau Lake expected to take years, the iwi has begun providing water tanks for some whānau.
Through some huge efforts by Te Hiku Iwi Development, actually, through the leadership of that team, brought through this project, which is the tanks, the water tanks, which is a significant number for the whole of Te Hiku. So it's a big piece of work, and we've had the fortune to make that happen.
We need water tanks and water pumps and fix our spoutings. That's all we need.
But water tanks are only one part of the equation. The standard of housing is another.
You need a decent roof. And if you ain't got that, you've got a really nice, pretty tank, but you haven't got a roof that'll enable that to catch that. So that's an issue. And then as you look at how the roof is looking, you inevitably will see what's going on under the roof, in the home, and the bigger context of issues for whānau. So we're talking about tanks, but we're talking also about all the other things that come with a tank and a roof and a home, and the state of our health and wealth for our families.
It will take another 2 years to deliver water tanks to the people of Te Kau, but the iwi says it can't stop there. With the far north expected to be hit by regular droughts due to climate change, the only long-term solution is to clean up Lake Wahakari to give the people reliable drinking water.
That would be a game changer for whānau, to be able to have the water that just comes from their lake, it's the Kau Lake, and be able to pull it off, drink it away, use it for other means, but have drinkable water. Not just for their gardens and their stock to drink, but for whānau to drink.